My live on Instagram. Hmm. I don't think I am. Try this again. Live. Do that. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. Now, click that. Now I'm going to be live. Hi, Rachel. How are you? Okay. Now I'm live on Instagram and on here. Okie dokie. Happy Thursday, friends. We meet again. Hey, Jen. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Jean. Hi, Casa Kombucha. Is that you, Kath? Yeah, oh no. Tisha's, I'm on the big screen, Tisha. Oh no. Okay, how do we look? Hi, Holly. Hi, Christine. Happy Thursday night. Hi, Kath. Oh my God. Kath, I haven't seen you since you were a baby. It's been at least like 15 years. Hi. Oh, Arlene always asks what my cocktail is. Okay, so I'm running low on things, but this is dark rum, club soda, lime juice, and a little bit of that orgeat syrup, that almond syrup, just for a little sweetness. Thank you. You like my undercut? Hey, Amanda. Oh my God, Amanda, I was just thinking about you. I haven't seen you in so long. How the hell are you? All right, friends. Do you want to meet officially or unofficially or for like the 700th time? Would you like to meet my big rock? Radiance is here with us tonight, fully charged up under this Sagittarius full moon for optimum intensity. And I don't think I'm going to be extra grounded tonight, so I hope you guys have a grounding rock to help anchor us down and prevent glitching. All right. All right, my friends. Let me grab Jen. Jen. There you are. Hi. Hello. You look lovely.
Thank you. I thought I'd throw on a little makeup, but just do this portion that could be seen.
That's the best part of like virtual everything. It's like just right here. Just right here, my friends.
That's it. That's all you need to see.
That's all you need.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, Erin. So tonight we are talking about twin flames. I have a vague recollection that we did touch on this a little bit at some point, but I don't think it matters because that might as well have been 20 years ago at this point. So we're getting plenty of information in. I got lots of stuff downloaded when I went for my walk today about twin flames. So I'm super excited to delve into this conversation with you guys. If you have any questions about twin flames, put them in the comments and we will touch on all of them. Twin flames, soulmates, relationship stuff, all falls under this umbrella. So if you have any relationship connected questions, anything like that, feel free to ask away. Hi, Cindy. Hello, April. Hello. All right. I feel like I'm ready to go.
Everybody buckle up.
Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. Well, oh, hi, Cindy again. Why don't we go ahead and connect in, tap in. We'll take some breaths, tone this down a little bit. So just go ahead and close your eyes. Roll your shoulders up to your ears and down your back. Shake it out a little bit. Focus on your belly. Ask your belly to soften. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Release through your mouth. Deep breath in and out. And one last time. Taking a moment now to call all of your energy into your heart center, calling your energy in from the past and the future, from your day, from words spoken, from people seen, bringing all of your energy in as you breathe in into that heart center, allowing you to be here in this present moment, clear and calm and focused. Receive one more nice deep breath in and let it go. All right. Okay, so tonight we are talking about twin flames, and I'm going to start by giving you a slight overview of twin flames and soulmates as I'm understanding it in real time. So, so here's the thing, right? Take twin flames and soulmates out of the metaphysical for a minute. We have been conditioned through fairy tales, literally every single romantic movie there is on the planet, society, basically everything, telling us that there is one person out there who is our perfect match, who when our energies meet this other person's energies and meets this other person's energy, we will just explode into fireworks and life can finally begin the way it was always meant to, because this is the person who gets us. This is the person who completes us. This is the person who is going to walk alongside us and support us, and we're going to do all the things, right? There's a reason why the story always ends like right after the wedding, right? Because that's not realistic at all. So taking the fact that we have that in the collective as an expectation and a goal, that we find one person and that person's going to be our person, we have to then understand that when we look at something like twin flames and soulmates, it's a very, very similar narrative. It just sounds much more magical and metaphysical. You with me so far? So with that being said, what they were telling me this morning on our walk is that they're going to do their best to use our lingo. And while they're using our lingo, they're going to also attempt to deconstruct the narrative that we have around twin flames. Who would call me? So rude. The narrative around twin flames and soulmates, and put it in a more of a new earth container so that we can start to see it for what it is without our projections all over it. Okay? So if you Google twin flames or soulmates, you're going to find a lot of information. You're going to find twin flame information very different than soulmate information. Usually the narrative is that you have like one twin flame. You can be both incarnated together at the same time, or one's not on the earth plane right then. And there is a narrative that also says that you are cut from one soul. So it's like you're two parts of one soul, and that's why you so long for reunion, because when you do, then you're complete. They are telling me to nix that. That's the worst part of this narrative, they're saying. Because when you think of it as your soul is not a complete soul, that doesn't make any sense. No soul is splitting themselves and being like that, because that means they don't have pure source consciousness. It doesn't make sense why any soul would do that. Now, can one soul, this is actually it's going to sound contradictory, but bear with me. One soul can fractalize themselves to be many different places at the same time. But one soul is not going to have two separate physical bodies at the same time on Earth at the same time. That's not a thing that anybody would do, because it doesn't make any sense to do such a thing. So nix that for our purposes tonight as we talk about twin flames, and let's not think of it as two parts of one being, but rather two very separate and very unique energies and beings that have a long and storied history. And that is where we're going to begin. The twin flame narrative came from somewhere, and in fact is the original source of what we have built as our narrative of romantic love right now. It's the original seeding for the ultimate romance. That is because twin flames have made agreements with each other so many, many, many times. Now, we make agreements with souls all the time, many, many different souls, but twin flames are different because they are two souls who are aligned on the same path. They have missions that pretty much always connect in some way, whether both of them are incarnated in Earth at the same time or on different planets simultaneously, or one's just, up in higher self world and not even incarnated. It doesn't matter. They always have some sort of agreement going on, because they're like bonded pairs, and their energy is so fine-tuned to each other that they are perfectly suited to assist each other on different missions. Everybody has a twin flame, is what they're saying to me. Everybody does. And some people have more than one, which is also unpopular because it's more fun to have one, right? And then you spend your whole life searching for it. So and they want to also express that in that idea that you can have more than one twin flame, you can also have many, many, many soulmates. And a soulmate is different from a twin flame, because a soulmate is somebody who you do not have necessarily a pre-agreed upon contract with, but someone who you create a contract with on the fly. Okay? So a soulmate will come into your life and will be kind of a wild card for you. And that's part of the Earth experience. Not everything is planned. And what they're saying is the idea that we would plan our entire life down to the very detail is a little intense, because it doesn't leave any room for improvisation. It doesn't leave any room for the knowledge that timelines are constantly shifting, and we know that they are. So consider that. So when you run into a soulmate, this could be somebody who you have definitely incarnated with many, many times. Obviously, that happens because energies tend to do that. But a soulmate's different from a twin flame, because this is somebody who you do not have a pre-existing agreement with. So when you meet somebody who becomes a soulmate, it means you meet and you form a bond that then creates an agreement. And usually when you meet a soulmate, you will create an agreement in the astral, right? Very soon after meeting each other. And you'll sit down and you'll say, okay, what do you think about this? Should we do this? Da, da, da. Yep. Okay, great. And you guys will create some sort of a sketch that makes an agreement together. Now, this agreement obviously can be amended, changed, negated, whatever it is, but that's what happens. It's an on the fly thing. They come in, sometimes they come out, and it's a very flowy kind of moving situation that you did not plan before you incarnated here. Twin flames are different because twin flames have pre-existing agreements. So, for example, two twin flames can decide to have incarnated right now for this like great momentous energetic occasion that we're in. And let's say these two have decided that in this incarnation, they're both going to be female, and they're not going to have lives that necessarily hold hands and like they're in each other's lives in a everyday way, but it's more of a keeping tabs on each other way and making sure that they're, staying on course. So let's say these two ladies incarnated, right? One gets married, starts having kids. The other one decides not to get married, having some kind of career over here. They've existed as kind of acquaintances and friends, but not even very good friends. It's the kind of friendship where they see each other when they see each other, they catch up. It feels like home when they're together, but they don't really seek out anything further than that. And it feels okay for them because that's the agreement they've made. So what ends up happening is when, chick over here is bopping around in life and she makes a decision that's like wildly off course with what she wanted to accomplish here, homegirl over here is going to call up randomly and be like, hey, how are you doing? Do you want to come out and visit me? She's going to take a trip and go visit her out of nowhere for no particular reason. And that trip is going to somehow pivot her and change her perspective on something that gets her aligned again onto the path that she has chosen, that she wants to be on. So they're mission focused. They help each other. And everybody has very unique agreements with each other. So this is just an example. It could be literally anything. But my point is with twin flame connection is that there is a pre-existing contract. And these are souls who have incarnated together many, 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 many times. Now, when you meet your twin flame, depending on how that happens, you will probably know, and here's why. Usually, and this is why we're actually gonna talk about your astrological stuff for a second, because this is where your Venus and your Mars come into play in a big way. Your Venus talks about how you interact in relationship. It doesn't matter what kind. So any type of connection that has emotional feels to it. Okay. Your Mars is your passion. Your Mars is your the fireworks. When you meet your twin flame, your Mars is going to go bananas most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. There's going to be some sort of spark there that is going to and can very easily overwhelm you to the point of I don't know what to do. And this is often confused by us as being a thumbs up that this is the one person you are supposed to be with romantically. But we misunderstand the whole sex energy, unfortunately, because it has so many connotations to it now. It has so many strings attached to it. We think if it's like a big feeling and like connection in a sexual way and like a romantic and passionate way, it has to be something that should be. But you have that connection with your twin flame because of how attuned to each other's energies you are, and because of how many experiences you've had over so many different lifetimes. When you connect together, you do feed each other in a way that is unique to you and not to anybody else. And sometimes that does mean you do enter into union as human beings on Earth together. But it's not all the time, because remember, your twin flame contract is most usually there to make you move from one path to another, to wake you up, to show you the places within yourself that you are not doing your healing. So they more often than not will trigger the shit out of you, while at the same time, you will feel an insatiable attraction to them, whether it be sexual or just you just can't get enough of them in any of the ways. But at the same time, they'll probably trigger a lot of unhealed parts in you. So any parts in you that have not healed, they'll be like, here's your mirror. Do you like it? And you'll be like, no. And it'll do that because that's what they've agreed to do. So I'm going to pause for a second, take a sip. Does anybody have any questions so far?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet. Hi, Mom. Okay. Okay, I was just wondering like why we're talking about this tonight, but they got it. So this is it's the professor. Okay, so right now, the reason why this is so relevant right now is that because we are rolling up into the split, big time, big time, big time. Twin flames are experiencing a very intense energetic shift, which means if you currently have contact with your twin flame, it is very likely that in the past 2 to 3 weeks, and currently as we live and breathe, you are experiencing some sort of issue with that connection. And there is a thought in your head that the connection has to end. You may not, not all of us use the narrative of twin flame to describe people in our lives who are important. And I think that merits a thumbs up, right? We don't have to use this narrative. We don't have to use these words, but they are big keywords in the spiritual community and concepts that we talk about a lot. And the energetic connection between what we are calling twin flames is so remarkable that it warrants a discussion, especially right now. So a lot of people are feeling a separation from who they have identified as their twin flame because of the big shift coming. With the shift that's coming, energies are shifting so fast, and needs and missions are taking a different track than they were before. So depending on where you're at and where your twin flame is at and what different healing you have done and haven't done, you may be taking wildly different paths when we hit June 21st. And you are being set up and prepared for those wildly different paths right now. Does that resonate? Because they're saying that a lot of people are feeling right now like they don't want to let go of what they are calling a magical connection, something that's been so meaningful to them. And so they're hanging on, but even as they're hanging on, it feels like they can't hang on. And they're saying that at this time, hanging on is pretty futile because the energies are just impossible to outsmart. So whereas before, we could be very clever and figure out ways to keep relationships going that compromise our integrity and our alignment, it is now becoming really difficult to do anything that compromises our integrity and alignment. White lies are going to become a thing of the past. You may have already noticed the filter that you once had on your mouth is rapidly disintegrating. So it's getting to be that kind of pressure cooker energy where you're just not able to sustain things that require such work. If it takes a lot of work to keep it going, you're probably not going to do it. So that's what's happening right now. Now, what happens if you have, experienced a separation with your twin flame and it hurts and you don't, you're really sad about it and you don't know what's going to happen? Take heart, because with twin flames, separation is actually part of it. You're supposed to separate. Every time you separate, you both bounce out and experience rapid growth. Okay, so as you come together and your energies collide, that's why a lot of times the twin flame connection isn't meant to be the person you marry or the person you have a bonded life partnership with or even date for an extended period of time. It's not always that way. And your twin flame can be your sister. It could be your aunt. It could be the mailman. It could be anybody. Anybody who interfaces in your life in any way can be your twin flame. It doesn't mean you need to link up and be together forever. So you connect energies, and when you guys are hitting each other's energies, you are powering up, learning, and then you split, and that's when you integrate that knowledge and level up exponentially. So separation is part of the twin flame agreement. So if you believe you have found your twin flame and you're currently in connection with them and you've never ever separated, they're saying maybe look at that and ask yourself if this is a story you're telling yourself or if you actually believe this person is your twin flame. The other thing is that, and actually this part came through yesterday. Remember, Jen, when I was driving in the car? It's like they picked the greatest time. It's like driving or walking in the woods. It's the jam. But a lot of times when you meet somebody who incites big passion in you or creates an experience that you've never had before and is like, this is the experience where you're like, this is the best I've ever had. It's the best. When you feel that, you are very quick, most of us are very quick to say, I don't want to lose this because it's the best I've ever had and I'm probably not going to get better. Where did we get that from? What program is that? Because if you think about it, by virtue of you having then experienced something that turned out to be the best, there had to be something before that that you thought was the best. And if we apply a little logic to that, that means that whatever you currently think is the best is only what you currently think is the best until you experience the next best. So what are we doing? What's this game? Do not use that narrative as a crutch to stay in a relationship or situation that is not serving you. It's not good enough. That's not going to hold water anymore. You have to stop lying about that. Yeah, whatever you have feels great. But dude, we're rolling up to the split. What do you think is on the other side of that besides a mind-blowing connection, right? We're making space. People are dropping like flies. The energies are shifting like crazy bunches of bananas. What do we think is coming, right? It's going to be amazing because things are already amazing. We've already had amazing experiences. We've already witnessed and experienced incredible people coming into our lives out of nowhere. Each and every one of you, if you just took a minute and popped back 12 months and found a year ago you and take that year ago you and put it next to you now and look at all the things in your life that are changed and elevated and how much more yourself you are and how much more confident you are and all the things you've done, you couldn't have foretold it. Okay? And take it a little further. Go back 5 years. If you went back 5 years ago, would you have even believed half the shit that's happened in the past 2 years? No. So stop making your brain hurt so much and just pay attention to how you're feeling and trust that if you're being led down a certain path, it's for a reason and it's for your higher good. The energies are supporting us in whatever we want to do. They are literally here to help usher us in to a place that's going to be a lot more fun. And like we're over here saying, no, 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 because this is the best I've ever had and I'm never going to get better. And, these, purple crescents over here, like, I think you can have better. I think you should open yourself up to the possibility of better. Oh my goodness.
So true.
Hi, Claudia. All right. Does anyone have any questions so far? This is a totally different format for PC this evening. You're also welcome to ask questions about the split or anything like that. That's totally fine. What does that mean? It sounds like drugs. Oh no, she's talking about the sport. She's at Kansas baseball.
Oh, it auto-corrected.
Jen, do you have any questions?
I do, about additional information for the split. There's any kind of new updates, because we've been doing some work in the last week. Definitely felt some timeline shiftings in the last week. I've been absolutely insane for 2 or 3 days now, just crazy energy. So just looking for some updates on that.
On the split?
Mm-hmm. We've got other folks that we watch that have been or connect with in this community that are starting to talk about things related to the split. So just I like a little bit more clarity for us tonight if they have any updates.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, whatever this is here is not here to talk about the split. So I'm just like telling it to leave. I don't know what's going on. Okay. So about the split, on the 29th, we are going to be hitting the Mercury retrograde, and that is the same time as we head into the serious shadow of the split energy. It's going to, as we approach June, the energies are going to speed up. So it's going to feel like it's, we're already feeling this, but it's going to intensify the sense of not understanding how time works anymore. Like suspension of understanding of time. And like, so time will sometimes feel like forever. And then it will also feel like a split second. And your body is not used to that. So your body the bodies are going to be taking a little bit of a beating the first week of June. We've been preparing, we've had preparation for this. As we move into the split energy in June, there's going to be a sequence that's going to be activated within us that is going to it's going to turn on and allow our bodies to understand the energies in a way that we have not before. So a lot of different capabilities are going to come online, and rapid healing is going to happen for a lot of people, and all the senses are going to be heightened. We should expect that they're telling me like the first full week of June. That's next week.
It's half week. 1st of June's Tuesday.
Okay. They're telling me that the first full week, which I mean, that's going to be next week. We should expect like a couple days of like extremely heightened sensory processing. So like people's ears will be sensitive to sound. Your eyes might be very sensitive to light. Your skin might be very ultra sensitive, like even to different fabrics. Just like a sudden ultra sensitivity. Not everyone is going to experience that, but it's a large enough amount that we would probably notice that we feel something. And that feeling is the sensation that's happening when this DNA is being activated. So heightened senses will alert you to that being a thing. The reason why they're telling us this is because it's very helpful for us to be aware of the DNA activation. If we are aware of it, our cognizance can facilitate that opening. So like when you feel the heightened sensitivity happening, you can say, my DNA is being upgraded, I'm being activated, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's the first week of June. And here's the thing. The thing with the split is to understand the word split means for two things to move apart from each other. So that means as the split occurs, people here and people here will be having different experiences. And that is important to remember. So you have to be very careful about understanding where your experience is. Pay attention to what your experience is, because your experience may not be the same experience as a person right next to you because they have made a different decision. There is going to be, and there already is, they're saying like right now, most of us are not aware of the chaos happening for infrastructures in governments, because not only is it not being talked about, but it's also being actively not talked about. It's being minimized as far as news coverage. But there are many, many, many governments around the world right now that are not in a good position. There's a lot of rioting happening, they're saying, and a lot of issues when it comes to what is this called? What do you call the things that are basic needs for like water, heat, utilities?
Utilities, yeah.
There's issues over access to resources, to essential resources. There's hoarding happening at various levels. And basically, from if you were to pull out and view what was happening on a more global scale, you would say that the world is preparing for a massive event, like an extinction event. They're saying that that's not what's happening. It's not an extinction event. It is a splitting event. But those who are wed deeply and enmeshed in third dimensional consciousness interpret split energy as end of the world energy. So when you look at what people are saying, be aware that that is a filter that's there, and from their perspective, that's what they're experiencing. So you're not insane if you are not experiencing that. When you're experiencing things in a fifth dimensional consciousness, they don't feel the same, they don't look the same as in a third dimensional consciousness. And a person who is viewing the world through that third dimensional lens will not even hear what you're saying if you're viewing it from a fifth dimensional place. So just be aware of that. The split itself was given summer solstice, the 21st. Again, a lot of people are going to have chaos, but not those who have chosen to jump into fifth dimensional consciousness. And if you have chosen to be in this fifth dimensional space, what you're going to be doing during the split, the 21st and after, is preparing yourself to receive, preparing yourself, preparing yourself to receive those who have just woken up. So what they're showing me is that those of us who are, and honestly, anybody listening to me right now has clearly chosen fifth dimensional, has chose the fifth dimensional path. So it's safe to say if you're watching this, that this is going to be you. So what's going to end up happening is your role during the split and the chaos that ensues after is not to join that party, but to focus on yourself, to really power yourself up, learn things you need to learn, increase your sustainability, and follow your own bouncing ball towards wherever that leads. Because in the very near future, those who chose the third dimensional consciousness, who have just gone through the split and the chaos that ensues, are going to be woken up abruptly. That is what that is going to look like for them. And once they are, they will need us to help them to assimilate into a fifth dimensional consciousness. Kath is saying the connection went crazy. That happens sometimes when the energies come through. So I'll repeat that last part because I think it bears repeating. They're basically saying that if you're watching this transmission, you've already chose a fifth dimensional path, right? So those who have chosen the third dimensional path, the split is going to, they keep saying the split and the chaos that ensues is going to be their awakening, basically. And it's going to be very intense and abrupt. And I don't know exactly how long it's going to last, but it's going to last a minute. And during that time, it's our job to focus on our own healing and to follow our own bouncing balls, because that will lead us where we need to go. So we're getting ourselves ready. We're preparing ourselves, because as this happens in the third dimensional plane and everybody's like, they're going to be seeking out assistance, and we will be ready to help them because we'll be here already in this fifth dimensional energy, and we can say, okay, let me explain this to you. Let me explain energy. Here's how you support yourself. Here's what you need to do, yada, yada, yada. So basically, the split is, in essence, when you pull out and look at the big picture, a mechanism to create unity. Because we already have a certain amount of population that has woken up to what's going on here and continues to wake up and receive information and upgrades. And we have another part of the population that is way, way, way immersed in that programming and isn't yet ready. They need a literal physical wake-up call in order to have that happen. So that's going to happen for them. Now, you don't need to do that. So just remember that. That isn't something you need to do. You don't need to drop down into third dimensional frequency and experience that chaos and destruction and big, physical alarming wake-up call. You don't need to. You're already here. You can choose to, though. And some are actually going to choose that because it's their path. It's what they came here to experience. So there's no judgment with that. There's no right or wrong way, but there is acknowledgement and understanding that you're already on the fifth dimensional path. You don't need to leave it out of any other reason than it feels right for you to drop back down in third dimension and experience it that way. So you have the option. But if you're watching this broadcast right now, you are able to stay in the fifth dimensional frequency and not jump down into the crazy. Okay? Does that make sense?
So Claudia's raised a question, and it's, I guess, I have to travel over solstice, so this is a great question. So kind of wondering with this potential for chaos to be happening in our infrastructures and things like that, do they have any kind of comments about those, whether we should or shouldn't be traveling during that initial chaos point?
If you aren't to be traveling, you will receive a notification. So
Okay.
this is all about fine-tuning your notification system. So for example, if you're meant to be flying during a time where it's not a good idea to fly, something will happen to try to mess your trip up. Let it mess your trip up. It's that kind of thing.
I have to go in the middle of Wyoming, right in the middle of all of this. So I'm like,
You'll be fine.
I'll ride back on a horse. It'll be all right. So Jean's asking, is there any guidance on how to be a helper, yet remain sovereign and ensure you make space for others to be sovereign?
So right now is not the time to be a helper. That's what they want to make very clear. The helping is later. Right now is you. You focus on you right now and building your specific containers that will be there for others to funnel into when the time comes. So right now is not when you help others. It's later.
Just ignore Claire.
Here's my drink. Yeah, Jean, let me clarify that. Okay. So, because I think that that's really easy to think that's what I might not have been clear. So let me clarify that. So right now we are about to have this split. And those who have chosen the fifth dimensional path, AKA literally everyone listening to me right now, our job is to follow our bouncing ball right now and get our infrastructures in place. For a lot of us, that literally means creating new businesses, okay? It literally means that for so many of us. And I mean businesses, that's exactly what I mean. And different healing modalities that appeal to you, learning those, really shoring up your own integrity and your confidence in yourself, because when it comes time to do the helping, you have to be able to recommend yourself. You have to recommend yourself. You have to feel so confident in what you can do that you don't hesitate to do it, that you don't fawn or minimize or second guess yourself. Because what's going to happen is right now is when those listening right now, need to get ourselves ready to receive. Imagine the analogy of the doctors and nurses when there's war, okay? And everyone's out at battle, and the doctors and the nurses are not, wondering, like, how do I help them right now during the battle? No. They're waiting until the battle is over, because when the battle is over, they need to be prepared to receive all of those wounded soldiers. And that's what we're doing right now. We're not running out onto the battlefield and pulling people off. We are waiting in our designated containers and making sure they are accommodating and they have enough beds and they have enough whatever you need. All your items are in place and you feel confident in how to use those things. So I hope that makes sense. I hate to use a war analogy, but that's what came through. I guess it's better than baking. Maybe. Who knows? That feels really.
I think it's actually a really good analogy.
Yeah, I mean, it feels pretty clear to me, like when I think about it that way, because it's like so many of us as empaths and intuitives, and I've been saying this for like a week or two about how so many of us were raised being the emotional caretakers for the adults in our lives, and mitigating disaster constantly by trying to make sure that disaster doesn't happen, by being the person to move the pieces and manipulate those pieces. And now, like, you're literally being told not to do that anymore. You're being told to go prepare yourself for those who are going to be coming in. You don't have to go to them. You don't have to go prevent them from having their experience either. They need to have their experience. They need to go through this thing, because this thing is what's going to wake them up. Nothing else is going to wake them up. It has to be boom. And you don't need that unless that's what you choose. So don't go and jump onto, the war zone field just because you want to keep people company. They don't need you there. They're busy. So you're supposed to be here preparing the things and waiting for them to come through. It's not going to be that long in the scheme of things. Like, it feels like everything's done and done by 2025, quite honestly, which is not that long from now. Mm-mm. Mm. Mhm. It comes to us. Exactly. Whew. It kind of makes you feel like excited and also like, wow, what's happening? Every day. Every day. Every day. What?
Yesterday was one of those days, was it not?
Yes. It's just been so much. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, here we are. We're doing it, and we're very supported. There's this this lady is not leaving, so I'm just going to see what this is about. I didn't feel like it was relevant, but let's see. She's like a nun. She's a nun.
Okay.
Like the kind of nun you'd see in like medieval movies, in the what do you call the nun places? Nunneries?
Nunneries, yeah.
Abbey. She's an abbess.
Yes. It's an abbey.
Interesting. She's okay. Yes, convent. Thank you, Kath. Okay, so she's here, and she's going like this, and she has a message for somebody who, a few people, but mostly one person. Thank you. What is the message? I don't even really know how to field this, but she's saying that she's here because she's excited that we are dismantling the toxic and insidious power structures that are currently and have previously been exploiting women through religious fervor. She is here to support this reclamation of women's bodies, minds, and souls. And she is specifically here because in her life as an abbess, she performed duties that were morally against her soul but she did them because she believed when she was told it was God's work. Mm.
I
Ireland. She was in Ireland. That's a lot. That's a lot of energy. She's so emotionally distraught and at the same time impassioned. And she wants every woman who is watching this right now who has ever been wronged by the church. She wants you to tell your story and to not be silent and to trust what your soul is telling you is right and not to listen to anybody who tries to tell you how you feel is wrong or tries to silence you. And she wants you to know that it's not just her, that there are so many of these women who were nuns for centuries who kept quiet and protected the men. And they are here now. Many have incarnated here now and are in body and soul right here, right now. And they are being supported by those in spirit. And it is indeed, she says, a holy war. And this is one that is an understanding that God cannot be contained within four walls and doesn't need to be explained by a man. Whew. She's saying thank you to all of you who are healing and moving past traumas. It is not time to be quiet any longer. It is time to tap into our collective strength and raise the vibration. She is here and she is proud. Her name is Lucinda Abalone, but she was known as Mary Teresa. But that is not her name. Her name is Lucinda Abalone. And she has one last thing to say. Name yourself. Whew. All right, then. Thank you. All right, guys, go ahead and close your eyes. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Let it out. Take both of your hands, place them on your shoulders. Feel your body. Tap your shoulders. You repeat after me, either out loud or in your head, or simply let the words integrate into your energetic field, tapping your shoulders. I am safe. I am supported. And I am here. Smooth your hands down, tap your chest with your fingertips, right above your heart. I am safe. I am supported. I am here. I am safe. I am supported. I am here. I am safe. I am supported. I am here. Move your fingers to the top of your head, gently tap in your crown. I am safe. I am supported. I am here. Tapping the area right where your third eye is, beneath both brows. I am safe. I am supported. I am here. Tapping a few inches below your eyes, on your cheeks, right along that cheekbone. I am safe. I am supported. I am here. Tapping just below your nose. I am safe. I am supported. I am here. Just below your mouth, right above your chin, tapping. I am safe. I am supported. I am here. And back to your chest, right on that heart center. I am safe. I am supported. I am here. Press both hands above your heart. Just hold it there and take a nice deep breath in. And let it go. You are safe. You are so supported. You are so loved. It is an honor to connect energy with you, to feel your power and your magic, and to feel our collective hearts connecting to each other and rising up as we bring in the new earth. And as we do so, healing all of our lineages across all space and time. Receive one more nice deep breath in. And let it go. All right, my friends. Listen, this was a big transmission for the end of our session, and I think everybody probably got a bit of a emotional, intense activation. So when you are finished and you log off of here, please take a moment to drink some water and to ask all non-self energy to remove itself from your field. Clear your energy. If you're able to, get outside, take a little walk, or just be in nature for a few minutes. Reset yourself. Remind yourself what you're here to do. Feel good. I'm sending you guys so much love, and I will see you at 8:30 in the morning for the weekend update. Mwah. Thank you so much for being here.